everybody. Welcome to Enlightened Up. We are having a great time off of the mic, off of the camera. Caroline Ray just left. We're doing one after another. Now, I changed my shirt, but just to reveal like a magician, it's the same. It's minutes later after Caroline left, of which we're not friends anymore. I hope you heard that, Caroline. If you're listening to that episode, we are the best of friends, but now she just rejected me. Anyway, well, welcome to Enlightened Up. We are about just what the title says. We're about offering light, levity, joy, fulfillment, mindfulness, consciousness, and now our guest is going to ruin all of that. Anyway, we really want to lift. Right. We want to lift the world.
I'm here to lift people. So
are you,
Caroline?
You
Even
guys
though
both.
She left and kicked dirt at both of us.
Both of you just kicked me. It reminded me of how I got into comedy. I got into comedy because of the rejection of females
being beat up by women. Yes.
And she spent most of the time in the chair, like loving me and being.
I heard her laughing, and then we went
had
outside
the greatest
and the real
time. And as soon as you guys got together, it reminded me. It just brought me right to high. It brought me to high school.
Oh, high school.
Yes, that's where
back.
Where it started. Don't give me this.
I'm
it was
so
way
sorry.
Back. See, that's even piling on more. It's the
just
girls.
how it goes.
The girls that torture us are the reasons we do comedy. That's the reason.
Right.
Because we couldn't be an athlete. Because we know that's how to get to you.
Okay.
So what other way? It can't be a band.
Athlete's good.
Right?
Funny is even better.
You would
so that
think.
didn't work for you in high school?
No, I was there.
Oh, you weren't funny.
I was very funny, but I was the buddy. Look at her. Oh, you weren't funny. Well, of course I wouldn't be interested in you.
Because all the funny guys in high school got.
That's
play.
not true at all.
My
what
God.
high school did you go to? Clown college?
Catholic high school.
Any guy's good. I know the Catholic girls.
Yeah,
we used
went
to
outside,
stalk you.
Just lifted our dresses up like, who's in?
Oh, yes.
Everybody in.
I went to one of those dances. I felt like
dances.
It was the
the
Harvest Ball, I think they called it. It was the Mount St. Joseph's. Have you ever heard of Mount St. Joseph's Academy in Philadelphia?
No.
You never heard of the Mount?
I
wanted to Mount.
I bet.
Oh, I just surrounded that place and just waited. Did you wear the skirts and
of course
you did?
Put
and
your pants back on. Yes. I did. But here's the thing. I don't think we had dances like that. They were already gone because everybody in my class was pregnant already. So Immaculate Conception was running rampant.
That's amazing. Did you really have a lot of pregnancies?
Yes.
You weren't one of them.
No, I have a godson that's 30 years old.
Wow. So you never did you ever have to ask a guy to a dance?
There is have ever had to have sex.
Caroline,
yes, a million.
Caroline had to ask somebody to her dance. She went to an all. Is she still yelling out there? It's over.
It's over, Caroline. Your time is up.
Your time is up. She's already tag team ganging up on me. Okay. She's taking over.
Wait, she asked
somebody get Caroline a ride, please, to the mall. All
Has
right.
her Uber come
Somebody
yet?
take her to the mall, please. Thank you. So anyway, yes.
Wait,
what kind of a podcast is this?
I love it.
We're still talking to the other
real
guest.
one. Get out.
You didn't have a dance.
I did have dances. I did ask somebody to a dance, but only because the guy I was dating, like I had 3 boyfriends named Mario. I used to joke about it, like in South Philly. And out here they say Mario. Like, how do you say that name?
Me, Mario.
Mario, right?
Mario.
Mario's right.
Yeah.
They always
Mario
make fun
Andretti,
of me.
yeah.
Yeah, Mario Andretti. They're like, no, it's Mario. And I'm like,
They say that here?
yes.
In California.
It drives me crazy.
There's certain things that I have a word from Philadelphia that I believe we're right on this one.
Let's see. I'm going to go with probably
No.
not,
You're going to think that I'm right on this. Matter of fact, when I say the word, you're going to go, yeah, how else do you say it? The rest of the country says it another way. I'll spell it out. Tournament. A golf
tournament?
Yeah, see, you say it right. Do you know how the rest of the country says it? Watch this. Hey, can somebody come in here, please? Thank you. Can somebody come in, please? Gordon, can you send some? I'm going to show you.
Serious?
I'm being dead
this
serious.
Was a fucking
this is no joke. This you can curse. My daughter's gone. By the way,
well, the teenage
Eleanor,
witch just left.
She was on a Disney show. So Eleanor, by the way, was on speakerphone with me. You should always announce that your kid is there. My 7-year-old was there.
That's a horrible thing.
She has a swear jar, and by the end of the conversation with Eleanor, my daughter has a down payment for college. It's awesome. It's fantastic. Gordon, our producer.
Hi, Gordon.
Tell me how you spell that, how you pronounce that word that we just said. Tourne. Say it loudly, okay? Tournement. Okay. Yeah. What? Oh, no. The whole country says send in Casey.
Say
please.
it.
No, it's the way they say it.
Oh.
I'm just trying to show you how the most of the country says it. Casey, can you come in here for a second?
Casey,
come in here.
Kasem is
Come
here,
in here
guys.
and please. Here we go with the How do you say the word Tournement? A golf tournament. That's how they all say it. Thank you, Casey. You can go back now. I appreciate it.
Turn.
They all say tournament, and we say tournament because Springsteen goes on tour, not tour. Not tour, not tour.
Ah, okay.
Right?
So you're saying we have one.
We have one that's right. Now, I overheard you. I heard you earlier, by the way.
About what?
Yeah, you said like the number one, Philadelphia, what it's known for. And you stayed with it, even though you've been in California for years.
I don't know what
you know what it is.
Water?
Yes.
Yes, I get in trouble for that a lot.
They bring you a block of wood.
Let me explain what happened, though. I was a lifeguard in South Philly for a city pool, right?
Oh, jeez.
Right on 18th and Johnson. It's called Barry's Playground. I worked there my older sister worked there, but I did it all through high school and college and everything. And it was right across the street from my mother's house. So we literally go to the pool, whatever. And I was taking Shakespeare. I was a theater major at Temple. So I was doing Shakespeare in North Philly in a Fila suit, if you can imagine. And so the teacher stopped me, I don't know, a million times. And she was like, I'm sorry, I just can't understand you. She's like, you have to take an American Standard English class. And I'm like, oh, I'm butchering Shakespeare? Really? He's an idiot. So I'm like,
You're to be or not to be, that's the question.
To be or not to be.
If it's nobler in the mind to suffer to
I was one of the
sling his
witches, so bad. So bad.
Oh, you admit to it.
100%.
I'm glad you.
They took my blood and they were like, "Oh, you're a witch. You were burned. How did you get back?" And definitely. So I was whatever. So she's like, "You have to take American Standard English." Fine. So I start taking American Standard English. I'm trying. I'm like, my tongue just doesn't go that way. You know, like I'm a hardcore inner city kid. You know, so like even when I hear certain accents, I'm like, oh. That's Delco. Like I can call it.
You can even identify Philly.
100%. Yeah.
Yes, the neighborhoods.
So I know Yeah,
that's 15th and Chunk. Right. It's that specific.
You're pronouncing that TH a little hard, but yes. So I go to I'm taking the classes and I'm working hard. Like I'm never going to get work as an actress if I don't learn how to speak. So I'm like practicing. I'm at the pool. I'm in my bathing suit. I'm in the city. I probably had cigarettes in my bathing suit. It's a problem. I'm walking around the pool. It's all these little South Philly kids. I blow the whistle and I yell at this kid. And I remember his name specifically, Chicky. And I blew the whistle and I went, "Get out of the water." And the whole pool turned and goes, "The fuck is wrong with you?" Like
that's literally like you said fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
worse.
To a nun.
Yeah.
Yeah, say
like
water.
I punched her as I was saying. The whole pool. What? Like, did an alien just come down? Get out of the water. I remember my jaw dropping. It hurt. Oh my God.
We're so used to
tormented me.
Yeah, we don't have a jaw that drops in Philly. It doesn't drop. It's up here. It's all nasal.
It's all O's.
Did you watch Mayor of Easttown?
Mayor of Easttown.
And I want to hear your thoughts. I'm not going to say mine. What are your thoughts?
The great Greg Fitzsimmons. Do you know Greg Fitzsimmons?
Yes.
Hilarious. We did a roast together like a month ago, whatever it was. And I was on the dais and I went first, luckily. So I got to like roast a lot, whatever. And then
what was the roast of?
It was our friend Adam, who was the town coordinator at the Comedy Store for a long time. And
you did a roast of him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a private going away thing. He was leaving. So it was just like a private little party. And it was like all his close, whatever, friends. And so we're just having fun. And Greg goes up and he's like, and there's a lot of people there. So he goes up and he's like, and Eleanor. And he just turns and I'm like, oh my God, what's he going to say? How bad of an actress are you that you're not in Mayor of Easttown? And I was like, you motherfucker, right? He goes, she's white trash. She's lives in a shitty Philadelphia. She's missing. There's somebody missing. You're missing. And I'm like, I'm missing. Like, it was so funny, but and I
He's
go,
right,
I go, whoa.
They'd
It's
rather
the
cast
suburbs.
an
They
English
wouldn't
person.
cast me.
They'd rather cast an English, someone from England, Australia,
They went
anybody
all
but
the way-
Eleanor, who's from South
The
Philadelphia.
two leads are England and Australia, aren't
Is that
they?
crazy? Yes.
Hysterical. But Kate Winslet's like my favorite. of
Oh,
all time.
don't forgive her.
I will.
Don't forgive.
I
No,
will.
you can't do that.
Even as an Irish woman, I'd forgive this English woman.
It's wrong. It's wrong, and especially if you're Irish.
So rude.
I just watched something about Ireland. I had no idea
what?
how bad the English were to
Are
the
you
Irish.
serious?
I didn't know it was this.
This is a joke.
Like literally changed their language.
This is how
Forced them to change their language.
a joke I do that never gets laughs because people don't read or watch anything. And sometimes it does if I'm in the right audience. But I always go, I'm 100% Irish. And then my mom will go, and a little English. And I'm like, yeah, I know how rape works. And everyone gets
I laughed.
hello, even the English laugh.
I thought that was hilarious.
Thank you.
Absolutely great joke. Most people would laugh at that.
Some people just get like, oh my God.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, the English are a problem. But Kate Winslet, there's a few I love. And Kate Winslet and Emma Thompson, like they're just I once was at a meeting at an agency and they were like, well, who do you want to model yourself after? And I was like, Kate Winslet, Emma Thompson, Meryl Streep. And they were like, not Julia Roberts? I'm like, yeah, she's hot.
They even gave you the look.
Yeah, they gave me
Like
the name.
the
My
you're
hair
kidding
was
yourself
really
look?
curly. I'm like, but they were like, I was like, are you serious right now? But why wouldn't I aspire to be that? I love Julia Roberts. She's cool. She sells tickets, I guess. But
Right.
she's a blockbuster. But I guess they were like, you don't want to be a blockbuster star? I'm like, no, I'm a real actress.
So they're trying to convince you of who you should want to be.
You
That's Hollywood.
stink at acting. No, not you, Julia. You know what I mean. But my favorites are my favorites. But the guy was like, I didn't get signed because of that.
It's funny. So you and I are differing here because I'm from Philadelphia and I resent the English. I can't
I
stand.
do too.
I
But
can't
there's
stand. We
a
have to
few
go.
that I pick.
All the Oscars are all. If you're from England, it's an automatic Oscar bid.
No, even I
You
will
know.
say, even the English say that's not real. That just because you're from England doesn't mean they say you get well trained there and you get weeded out quickly. And we do have such a thing as blockbusters because we have likable people, which is what the English don't understand. So yes, Julia Roberts, amazing,
Everything's
fun
Benedict
to watch.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always has
But
to be.
there's never anything fun to watch. Like it has to be serious. I'm an
know.
actor.
I can't
you know.
stand those.
I get it.
Those Downton Abbey. I thought it was downtown. I
Yeah,
thought it was
would
downtown
never
Abbey.
say down. However you just said it, my tongue won't even say it. It's called Downtown Abbey, and if anybody has a problem, cash me outside, ho, because
Right? I can't even say
If
it.
the Queen of England was here, I'd be like, Downtown Abbey, bitch. What do you think of it? Because that's a fake monarch anyway.
I almost didn't watch The Queen's Gambit because I thought it was about English. I thought it was
I
another.
do love The Crown.
Remember those Tom? No, you
yes,
do not.
I do. I'm an acting whore. I do. That's really well
Now
done.
you're going against. See, you're back on my bad list.
I'm
now.
sorry.
You
It's
can't
well
like,
done.
No,
It's well done.
I shouldn't judge. I've never seen it.
Dude,
I
it
won't
is
see it if it's
well done.
got that vibe, that Englishy vibe. I'm tired of hearing royals.
And I hate the
It
royals.
pisses me
like
off.
I think it's ridiculous. It's a fake monarch.
Right.
It doesn't even mean anything. But I've lost my religion a while back.
Oh, their self-obsession and self.
Of course.
Oh my God, aggrandize. I'm
you
on the
have to
plane.
admit when
I love
something's
trivia,
good.
and I'm a trivia expert.
Oh, here he goes. A spelling bee winner
do you
and
know-
a trivia expert.
Do you know, how'd you know it was a spelling bee winner?
Because you put it in a text thread,
I put it in a
weirdo. I can't spell, so don't push things in people's
I'm not
faces.
pushing it, but I do have a thing.
How'd you know? Like I read it in the trades. Get out of here.
It
was in Variety last week.
That got out. My 7th grade spelling bee, anti-disestablishmentarianism. That was my winning word.
I don't even know what he said. He needs subtitles for that.
So, all right, now what was my point, damn it?
I don't know.
What was I?
You hate the English. Go back to that.
Well,
No, something
I have a
about
theory
the-
that what something about what?
We were talking about the TV shows and the acting,
the
and how I'm back on your shit list.
The Queen's Gambit. I couldn't, and then I ended
Trivia.
up watching
Trivia.
it. Right, so
You were
I'm
a
on the
trivia
airplane.
fanatic.
Thank you. I'm on the airplane. Why don't you just be my brain?
I apologize.
That's come along. No, really, I don't
true.
apologize. I need you, like on a daily basis. Like, I'll go to you with my
because
kids.
I do this with my mom.
I'll go,
all the
Eleanor,
time.
tell them what I said.
I do this with my mom all day, but she's 83.
It's fantastic.
You got to get your shit
So,
together.
Yeah, you're the pin that we put in something. That's I love having you around. So I'm on like these airlines, and they have a choice on what you can watch, or you can do entertainment. Mine is trivia, and I'm so competitive. I'm going against the other seats.
Oh.
And I'm going. You
Is
son
this
of-
why fights are on Spirit Airlines?
No. Oh, Spirit.
Do they have trivia?
No, Spirit won't even let you have your own phone on a
No, you got to jack up before you take a Spirit Airline
Oh,
flight.
that's the
Okay,
worst.
go
And
ahead.
the seat doesn't go back. You're like Hannibal Lecter.
I would never fly in one of those wooden chair seats. No,
It's
I'm
the
not.
worst. It's like Whistler's mother sitting
It's like
straight
being
up.
at a concert in a
Horrible.
hall in a
Yeah. Oh.
Catholic high school.
Listen, I don't care if they sponsored my show. I will tell you it's a piece of shit airlines.
The worst.
So anyway,
trivia,
I'm going
you're
against
competing.
them, and it's all these English questions. So as cricket, you're going to ask me a cricket question, and I'm competing against? No, I get so pissed, and I have no one to complain to. It upsets me. The English, you could do pornography.
All that for that point? Okay. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm actually
evil.
debating.
I apologize.
I'm starting to debate whether to have comedians on my show.
You really? You
I need
shouldn't if you're
civilians that
not-
don't challenge me. Don't pick on me and remind me of my high school days that made me into a comedian.
You know what's crazy now in America is like my nieces and nephews. They'll be like, Anna, want to come to my soccer game? Do you know how to play soccer? I'm like, no, I grew up in America. What's wrong with you? But I guess I'm older. I'm aged out, and all these kids play soccer. Like I have a niece and a nephew who are both two nephews that are phenomenal at it. My niece is outstanding. Like she goes on, she's touring with it. The other two, one played in high school. The other one's only 9. So it's coming
Soccer's
up.
one thing, but I'll tell you the lacrosse. When
No,
my
I've
son
never seen
son
that.
said lacrosse,
Imagine
he's going to play
lacrosse
that.
in South Philly. That would be hilarious.
Oh, they kill people with the sticks. They actually literally couldn't do it in South
I
Philly.
barely could play baseball.
Let's talk about games that we played in Philly that people will not understand, but we're going to have a blast.
Are we allowed to talk about racist ones?
Chink?
Yes.
Did you know that's where I was going?
One of my favorite games. I have a ball in my car.
Listen, I haven't.
I didn't know it was racist. Is it racist?
No, I'm here
Okay.
to help you on this.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad we're talking about this so we can get it out. I looked the word up. It means chink in the armor. It's chink. It doesn't mean
Oh.
right. That's what
Well,
it means
this
because it's
is
a
what-
chink on the wall. It's It's chink if you hit the wall and the ground at the same. Well, I said
See,
wall.
you're from
I'm
a
around
nice
you.
area.
Huh?
You're from a nice area that may or may not have explained that to you. I'm from a psychotic area that was like, oh, when it hits the slant in the wall, that's why. Okay? I didn't know.
That's the first I've ever heard that.
Well, you got to come to my
So
neighborhood.
now that's why it's racist. The slant in the wall. Oh no!
Isn't that awful?
That's awful. I had
And I'm
no
like-
idea. No, it's the chink in the armor. Well, whatever it is, it's wall ball out here. It's
So-
wall. No, don't even call
No,
it
we
that.
don't.
They
We
it
wouldn't call it
something
wall
else.
ball. Wall ball's a whole nother thing. So we're playing.
Yes, wall ball is another thing.
My
yeah.
nephew and I were playing what I now make him say handball against
Handball.
the wall.
Yes.
Because there's handball, baseball. Like
By
we
the
used
way,
to
they
play.
use big balls now. Did you know that?
No.
These
We
little
still
wusses
have.
use-
We have pimple balls. We order them.
Pimple
We have
balls,
pimple
right.
balls. We have.
I'm talking about out here in California. The kids have a giant ball.
Well, that's your fault for
they
having
don't miss it.
children. I keep to what I play. I go home all the time, and we still play half
You do?
ball. We play everything.
Half ball
I
is
was in
another
a
one. No one knows
half
what
ball
that is.
league
Is that the best?
Up until last year because of COVID. I would
out
go
here,
home.
there was a.
No,
Oh, okay.
go to Philly like a real
I
person.
keep thinking you're.
No, I go home a lot. I go-
wow.
My mom still lives in the same neighborhood.
They're still playing half ball.
Yeah, we still play half ball. My
And do
brother
you-
Jimmy cuts them in half. He gets all these tennis balls, bags of them. He cuts
What's
them
great
in
is
half.
every neighborhood had a new rule. Had another like
Sure.
old man Cataldi's awning's a double.
Okay.
Is that how you play?
Sure. Yeah, we played outside the Big A Cafe on Momenting
So
Avenue.
certain places, if you hit it there, triple, double. Is that how you work?
Yeah. And they had aluminum siding at the top. So my brother Jimmy, who's like half a monster, hit the ball and it would go through every time. So there's all these little halves. It's embarrassing. But my nephew plays for the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, geez.
So they're monsters. Like, I should have been a baseball player, but
They learned by playing stickball.
Sure, stickball.
That's
the little
impressive.
Jimmy played all that.
That's how Willie Mays started. I remember reading that when I was a kid.
Sure.
He played stickball.
We played stickball. We played handball. We played stickball, half ball, everything. Wall ball.
Half ball is because
Now
the
I call it
neighborhoods are
handball
so
'cause
small.
I'm trying to be good.
The neighborhoods are too small. You play literally in the street. You got to wait for the cars to go by. Then the manhole covers, second base, all that kind of stuff. It's so small that you had to do a half ball so it travels less.
It's true.
You know, that's the reason.
100%. And you can play on those small streets. It's just the
Yeah.
problem is, you're going to hit
Here's one.
Mr. Cataldi's eyeball if he looks out. Or you can eat a bag of Doritos like I did.
I was about to say it.
Wait.
I was about to say it.
And I was
about to
playing.
ask you.
I'm playing and I swung and we're on outside my mother's house and I swung and the stick went right out of my hand because I had slippery fingers from the Doritos.
Oh, I didn't think that's where you were going with it. You know where
I'm
I'm going with this?
I don't know, but
We had a saying in the city, I got chips. Do you know what that means?
no.
I
got chips?
I got chips. You know what that means? I
Money?
got chips on this ball that you have to chip in and buy me a new ball if we lose it down the sewer. And we used to call it chips. And then we'd have to immediately go, I got chips, no potato chips.
I know
Because
what
they
it
would
is.
bring you potato chips.
I know what it is. You
What?
guys had money because if we
We
lost
had no
the ball,
money. That's the whole point. We
We
didn't have
would
any money.
figure out-
Saving for a ball was a big deal for that.
Oh,
30 cents. That's what I'm saying is I got chips. You got to chip in. And if I'm going to supply the ball and you lose this thing, you're getting the next ball and you're buying me a ball.
I can't tell you how many times I was held upside down in a sewer
Yeah.
being lowered in.
You were the one?
100%.
Yeah, me
With
too.
a hanger, pulling it because I was
Wow.
good at
I
it.
wish we grew up together. I did not remember.
I was really good at it.
I did not
Or
think to use the hanger.
we would take a ladder out of somebody's yard and climb the roofs.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But you always had some neighbors.
The
that
field
were
roof.
just-
Oh, yeah, we had
You had a
Mr.
few-
Craig, which is kind of
So
annoying.
Mr. Craig was the one.
If we hit the ball near his house, when he died,
it?
we were like, is there a ball pit in his basement? Because he took every ball we ever hit.
Yeah, it's right next to the skulls.
And I have
that he has
9
to-
brothers and sisters, so you can imagine how many balls went in front of Mr. Craig's
Yeah.
house.
And he took them.
All of them. Every
He
ball.
confiscated
He
them.
took
Wow.
our ball, and nobody said a word. Like today, he probably would be arrested. Like, he's mean. Arrest him for being
right.
mean and elderly. That's a crime.
There was always one or two in the neighborhood.
And then we love his kids. Like,
Yeah.
he has great kids, and they're like,
Wow.
my dad did that. And we were like, yep.
Most of
Or
the,
grandfather. I'm sorry. We loved his grandkids.
oh, okay.
So he was way older.
Most of the people I remember as being mean did not have kids.
No, he
We were
had
like,
kids, and he had
either
his
that or they were grown kids or
his
whatever.
grandchildren
Forgot.
are married to some of our closest friends. Like, we all grew up together. They all came to see me in Wildwood, and we told him about the ball pit. We asked him if there was a ball pit.
That's hilarious. And was there?
He said, "No, what?
The whole stack
what are you
of-
talking about?"
He
goes,
threw
"He
him out,
did
that
have
bastard.
balls, but
I'm so mad at him. So
probably took him to his grandkids. Look what I got you."
the games that we played though were really like it was on asphalt.
I can't believe it. The relief of that, knowing chink in the armor, is making me.
I have the opposite. Now you got me thinking it's a slant, and I have to take it all back. I wrote a damn blog about chink. Now I got to take it down, or I'm going to be canceled.
I can tell my nephew
Yes.
that because I make him say handball, I'm like, you're being insensitive. Like, if this is really what it means, because I didn't know, I just said it. And so, because there was another thing we would say that meant that. So I can't separate. You know what I mean? It was weird. Whatever.
Gordon, if you could do me a favor and
Gordon,
look this up
take
on
it down.
look
No,
it
I'm
up on
kidding.
Google. So during the show, he's going to say, and it could go either way. We're going to say he's going to look up the word chink, okay, and it will be revealed on our screen later on in the show.
Okay.
It's a little
did you
tease
ever-
for everybody.
Did you ever go on up and down Broad Street?
Of course,
Like by Snyder Avenue, Broad and Snyder?
everywhere.
That's okay. But you
I
remember
grew
the
up in
stands?
North Philly.
Okay. Remember
We're
the
on
stands?
the stands for the mummers?
On Broad Street, there was little stands, and they would sell things.
Oh, that kind of stand. I thought you meant that you sit in. What do I call the stands?
What were they called?
You mean the carts?
The ladies would set it up and sell things like all kinds of stuff. Hair things, name belts.
I'm going to be pissed that I'm not, I told you I'm a trivia buff.
Well, it's the same name as the game we're talking about.
Oh, no, I never heard that.
Okay. See? That's why
they called those stands that?
Yeah.
No, that I do not remember.
And they were all Asian people. I don't know what.
Here we go. He's got it up. You have to make that larger.
So I thought
He looked at the word chink, and it's in the dictionary. How about buck? Did you ever play buck?
No, we were straight. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
For those of you, let Eleanor explain what that meant. Because it is, I guess you could say.
Go on the wall.
No, on a pole.
On a wall or a pole. I've seen it both ways.
Okay. They go both ways. Wall or pole.
Which is why we have pansexuals today. And hold on to the wall. And another guy would come from behind and just jump on his back, basically in his ass. And then so on and so on and so on.
Right. There was a human chain with a head right next
to. There's a chink in that chain.
And they would go buck number one, and they would launch, and you would try to buck them off like this big moving chain. And then
they must have stopped that when we were growing up because I did not play it.
You didn't play that? Oh, by the way, I just saw Chink.
King of the Mountain.
Can you make that?
King of the Mountain was killer.
Wait, King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
We didn't have any mountains.
No, but it was a pile of dirt that we called a mountain.
Absolutely, that was a mountain. And by the way, getting to the top of that, no matter how big it was not easy because they will literally throw rocks at you, kick you. Anything to be
level you. And I have 6 brothers. They didn't care. They still to this day will tackle.
Here you go. Here's what chink means: a narrow opening or crack, typically one that emits light. See,
right?
All these years,
I would have even trouble saying that just because of where I come from. I'm serious, because I don't want to be offensive, so I feel like it would come out the wrong way. I'd be like, you have a knot in your armor. I would have to change the word.
A narrow opening or crack. You could do it in a Philly accent. You got a narrow opening.
You got a narrow opening in your
in your crack. No, not in your crack. That's what it is.
That's how you play buck.
A weak point in someone's character, arguments, or ideas. See, chink in the armor. Look, that's what it means. So we're off the hook. We had nothing wrong with what we played when we were children.
But
Eleanor,
I do
take
make
a breath.
My nephew
Look how we are. What's that?
I do make my nephew say different.
He's released now.
But I will tell him what you said.
Please.
And I will,
what Google says.
Well, what happened was, so we were playing that game, me and my nephew, and my brothers were playing basketball with my other nephews. And my brothers are still roughhousers, even though we're elderly. He doesn't care. They don't care. They just punch you. I literally left with a black eye, my nose, I had my sunglasses on and my brother hit me. So it was like a whole thing. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go play with Conrad. He's 9. We'll play over here where it's safe. So we started playing handball, wall handball. And I'm trying. And so I'm playing.
I love you say it with a different accent. She goes Kate Winslet.
Handball. And so we're playing, right? And my brothers are on the basketball court. We're playing up against what we would call the field house, but it's not really there's not really a big field. That's what we're idiots. So in the field house, we're playing this game, right? And this Asian guy walks over and he goes, "Oh my God, I love this game. I haven't seen anybody play this in years. Do you guys know how to play this?"
I thought he was going to say, "Do you know the name of this game?"
No, he goes, I love that you guys, no, he goes, "I love that you guys know how to play this."
Oh, no.
And now my nephew's frozen.
You're biting your tongue.
And I'm like, "Hey." And my brothers stopped playing basketball and they're watching, what is going to happen? And they were like, "Oh my God." He goes, "What is this called?" And I looked at him and I went, "You know what it's called." But I wanted to, but the comic in me wanted to say that, but I was like, "Oh, handball," with the highest pitch because I was so nervous.
Lying.
And my nephews and my brothers are on another older kids on the other court going, "Knock it off, say it right." And I'm like, "Shut up, shut up. you ignorant. And he goes, I go, do you want to play? You know? But for a long time, I really did. When I was trying to like assess where it came from, I just assumed it was Chinese handball and they were being racist.
I actually just came up with the reason.
Okay.
Do you want me to hear? Do you want to hear it? It's
I like
extremely
it.
racist, but it's my theory.
Well, it can't be more racist than what they told me.
Oh yeah, you mean it's this? So mine's worse.
Yeah, really? You want to come to my mother's house for dinner?
No, this is
Shit.
worse. This is worse. It's only a theory that I just came up with now that I saw the definition.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the definition is a slight crack or opening where light gets in, and their eyes are a slight opening where light. You see where I'm going?
I got it.
You got okay, good. So now that maybe
I'm leaving this racist podcast.
now we. It's a theoretical thing. It's like Archie Bunker. You talk about it, but you know it doesn't mean you are.
I did 100%. I did a podcast, and today,
like your boy Dice.
today,
he's playing a character.
Oh yeah, of course. Every
Right.
day, somebody will say, like everything you say nowadays is racist, no matter what it
horrible,
is,
yeah.
right? And this lady, I've been joking about this on stage, but literally this lady came up to me in Jersey. She was like, "Are you racist?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And she was like, "Are you racist?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm an open racist." Because how am I going to answer
racist.
that? I'm like, I'm not a closeted freak like you. I'm open. And she like freaked out. She like was taken aback, and then she goes, "Oh my God, that's terrible. You don't like black people?" And I was like, no, bitch, you're racist because you think you can only hate black people. Let me give you a list of people I don't like. I mean, honestly, like, and then I was like, what are you? Because you just made the top. Like, she made me so angry, and I just kept roasting her and mocking her, and everything she said, I would just turn it around on her.
Right.
She got so furious, she just walked away from me. I'm like, no, you're a crazy racist.
Right.
Like, anybody that's sitting here, you know, combing through everything that somebody else is saying and trying to flip it and turn it on them, you're a racist and you're an idiot.
Everybody
We
now
don't need you.
has to have that label of ist. You have to
Yeah.
be ist.
Mhm.
Sexist.
I'm a lot of ist.
Yeah. You know what I am?
I'm an idiot.
I'm an assholeist. I don't like assholes.
Yeah, I always say we need a jackass race where people like that lady are in.
Yeah.
All the Karens out there.
You know,
Anybody that videotapes a fight and doesn't help, those are in the jackass race. Most of TikTok is in the jackass race.
I thought to myself, I've thought about this as a premise, but true. It's now become true. This is years ago. That just for drivers, so many bad drivers.
Sure.
That you do one bad asshole thing and you get an A on the top of your roof. You have a big giant A.
Oh, it's like
and if you get a second one, a big helicopter with a magnet takes you to A Island, the asshole island, and you can all live together and have bad driving habits together.
Just play bumper cars all day.
Yeah,
just
all day.
bump into each other.
Right.
It's like the restaurant grades. You would get the A.
Yes.
Yeah. And then an A, and we can have an E for excellence or something.
Right. Well, you don't even need that because we just assume everybody else is a good person.
I was just excited that I came up with the E and knew that's how you spelled excellent. I got the E part.
That's a spelling bee champ from first grade.
From South Philly, St. Richard's.
St. Richard's, that's what it was?
I went to St. Richard's grade
my
school.
God. You went to Dick's?
Dickie's, good old Dickie. St. Richard's of Chichester, but they changed it now. It's St. Pio. The Catholic Church is declining.
Yes.
Unfortunately. And the
Yes.
Catholic schools.
Well, let's get into that. Because this show actually is, believe it or not, about spirituality.
Oh, is it?
And enlightenment. Well, it's about, I'm trying to, this is what I'm doing.
Are you trying to fix me?
No, nothing to do with you.
Negative Nancy, not Kerrigan.
This is my agenda out there. I am building a bridge from the cynical comedians who don't realize that their truth telling is very spiritual. A lot of comedians say that they're atheists. No, if you're a truth teller, that's your values, that's your God. And the spiritual people are so serious. They have to do namaste, heart-to-heart hugs. It's all this regimen.
I hate judgment, but I judge you.
Right. Like, I am more spiritual than you are. It's like a spiritual race. So I'm building a bridge
Okay.
from the woo-woo to the ha-ha, the woo-woo people to the ha-ha.
The Ha-Ha Club?
And that,
I'm kidding.
The ha-ha people,
I get it.
the cynics, the sarcastic ones who don't realize that we are really good people. Comedians are really good people because of the truth telling. We reveal,
for the most part.
we pull curtains that people
Not
don't
all
see.
of us.
Oh, of course not. But a lot are really, really good heart people.
And a lot of people that people think, oh my God, like even Dice. We'll use him for example.
You were
People
engaged
say,
to him, right?
It's my second ex-fiance.
Okay.
I have a lot of. I'm not a closer, so Dice. He like people judge his, like for instance, my mother, right? She has 6 boys, 4 girls. All my brothers would listen to the craziest Dice, Pryor, Eddie Martin. Like I think the cleanest one was Steve Martin, and I don't even know if that
You grew
was
up in a house that's listening to Dice, and you end up with Dice.
Please listen. When we broke up, the only one that took it hard was my brother Johnny. So he's still crying, and he still makes his kids refer to Andrew as Uncle Dice. Don't worry about my feelings. Just anyway.
I have the weirdest thing with him. He
says great things about you.
This is the strangest thing.
Oh.
Whenever I get dressed.
Okay.
I know this.
I'm nervous already.
You don't know where this is going. There's no way you know where this is going.
Are there fingerless gloves involved?
No, there's nothing to do with that. It's just one of these things. Like when I go to the bathroom in the airplane, every time I knock my head on, I always think of my nephew for some reason. You know how these different things pop up? This is what pops up. If ever I have blue jeans on and a blue shirt, I always go, little boy blue. He needed the money. Every single time I'm getting dressed and wear blue, I say, he needed the money. So,
I love that.
It's the strangest thing.
Cute.
So he's with me for 30 years in a closet. That sounds strange.
I knew your closet.
I know.
Buck. Anyway.
You're using buck against
me. I'm kidding. I never played that game, so I like to tease people about it.
Little Irish Guinea, whatever. You have no.
No. I'm 100% Irish. People just think I'm Guinea because I'm where I grew up. It's all Italian. It's predominant.
It's
not all, but it's predominant. And then the Irish families were usually big like mine, or just crazy, so nobody bothered us really.
My mom is gonna freak when she hears that you were on the podcast.
Why?
She loves Irish. She's a freak for Irish. She won't let up on me.
And
she's Irish now. She's got her citizenship.
Okay, I love that. We would fight to the death, like with the Italian kids, and to this day we still tease each other.
Who do you think's tougher, Irish or Italian?
It depends on what neighborhood you're in, but I would say overall Irish. Tougher. That's just me. Yeah,
I agree with that because
Italians more of a cacchione. They like to talk.
Right, a lot of bravado.
Yeah.
Which I think that word is Italian.
Bravado.
Right?
I speak a little.
So I think the Irish are too.
I never turned down mozzarella cheese, I'll say that.
Theory on that is much more oppressed.
Oh, 100%. But plus we're also like, there's nothing to live for. And I hate to say it like that, but meaning we're
supposed to be an enlightened show.
Oh my God,
it's about getting well.
Why would you have a crazy Irish comic on who lives in depression? I mean, honestly, I love it. The Irish, like, we joke about it. We're just rotting from the inside out, waiting to die. My mother had COVID, and she doesn't remember having it. When I tell her she had COVID, she's like, well, that's bullshit. I'm like, why? She's like, because they promised it would kill me. And I'm like, oh, my God. But that's how we are.
My mom, the old-fashioned newspaper, right?
Yeah.
Remember, it was the Bulletin and the Inquirer. They were delivered to your door. My mom ran
the review
for the obituaries instead of the sports section.
100%.
I'm on the sports. She grabs the obituaries and goes over it to this day.
And be jealous that somebody else is dead.
She does the math on who's related to who. Like if somebody of one of your relatives, Kerrigan, I think you know an Eleanor Kerrigan, don't you? I wonder if that's the mother. That's what she does. She does all the math. She breaks it all down.
She's
who's related to who.
23andMe through the obituaries. It's amazing.
You don't even need to put your blood in or your spit. My mom will tell you where you come from.
Come here, let me see your eyes.
She has a very Corkonian lilt to her voice. I could tell from listening to her. You ask Eleanor if she's from Cork. I could tell. See? I know that from my mother. I channel my mother. That's where we're from.
Yep. We're probably related.
Oh, that's
gross.
sick. I love that you said it literally the same time I did. I wonder if that
but it could be, but like like my grandma, she lived to be 92 years old. She would every day be like, "Oh, today's the last day, honey, for sure." So I mean, for years we always were, but that's why I mean the Irish, they'll fight anyone. Like there's
they'll fight,
no,
they live long. They'll fight death.
Yeah,
and fight death like they're fighting a grudge of a relative.
I've seen the craziest fights. Like I'm like 60 things just went through my head, and none of them I can mention because most of them are just not good. So I'm trying to be enlightened.
This is what I don't. Some things I don't like about the Irish. My mom is begging me to be Irish, so I'm starting to read
what
a little more.
What else is in there?
Huh?
What else is in there?
In where?
What nationality? Like what?
My father's nothing. You know, I'm part black. I got a whole bunch of stuff in me.
Okay.
Switzerland.
Okay.
You know, I did the 23andMe. My mom freaks out when I tell her I'm part Ghana from Africa.
Really?
She flips
I would be
excited
excited.
because she wants me to be full-blooded Irish.
Oh.
She goes, "You're not African. Put that picture away." I show her a picture of me. It says a face match from Ghana. Put that away. She freaks out.
That's funny.
Because my mom is she loves anything Irish. So she's training me to watch things like 1847. I don't know if you saw that movie.
Amazing.
You know the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, I never heard of it before.
Yeah,
I avoided the Irish until recently
because
I'm bonding with my mom. Oh, I'm going to.
I love it.
When we go to Philly, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're going to be in Philly at the same time.
I wish my dad's typewriter store was still open in 20th and Porter. You would love him. With all the Irish flags just coming outside and waving it in the Italians' faces for no reason.
Not me that loves my mom.
Oh, yeah.
I call her Kunta O'Looney. That's her maiden name. So I call her, she goes back and searches her roots.
Yeah, we were doing it, and then my mom stopped.
I met your cousin. He's the face of you. That's he's the face of you, or he's the map of Ireland.
Yeah.
So
Joyce is our other name. Donahue,
Joyce, like James Joyce.
Yes.
Really.
Well, we can't
if you're
spell
related.
that well, but we're storytellers. Anyway.
Are you related to James Joyce?
I don't know. I'm going to have to
What do you mean you
swab
don't
my
know?
cheek. I don't think so. It never came up. My grandmother was orphaned at the age of 12, so she doesn't know her family. Oh. And my mom would try to trace it with the little steps she had, but once they came over, it all just went downhill.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Her mom died in childbirth, giving birth to her.
Right.
So she was raised by her grandparents, her father's parents, and they said that they told her that, that they didn't know who her father was and her mother died. Like they just said they were both dead. So she lived with them and referred to this gentleman as her uncle. And when she was 12, that uncle died. And you know how they used to have the funeral in the living rooms, or the wake in the living room of a row home.
I know.
And so they're having
the
this wake, the body, a dead body in there.
Ugh.
Gross, Irish. Stop it.
Yeah, stop that custom.
It's such Irish thing. Like, look at this. It's dead. Aren't we jealous?
Oh, I know. And then they always have the debate whether it should be opened or closed.
Yes.
My uncle.
He looks like shit. Why do you fix him?
He says you should close it. You have a place to put your beer.
Yeah.
That's what that's his theory.
But when she was at this wake for what she thought was her uncle, somebody came up and said, "That's your father." And she was like, "Oh my God, like all this time, that's..."
They say it at the wake. The announcement happens. Do you think they plan that at dinner?
I don't know. I don't even think
this
they
is
had
when we
dinner.
should tell.
This poor woman went through everything. She's so amazing, my grandma. Like, she's just one of these unsung heroes that just comes to, like, they came here. She was selling shoes on the sidewalk, met my grandfather during the Depression. He was 9 years older than her. They got married, and she was like, all I care about is having a tight-knit, close family. She had 4 kids, 27 grandchildren. When she passed away in 2005, she had 45 great-grandchildren. Now it's off the charts. Like, it's just kept growing, and we're all still very close.
Did it manifest in them becoming a close-knit family?
We are very, very close. Like, people get mad at me because I'm insanely close with my mother.
I'm burning a little bit, too.
I apologize. And my brothers and sisters.
No.
Okay.
We just have... So you guys don't do that silent treatment crap? I hate that. It's something... This, by the way, that's one of the reasons I didn't want to be Irish, is because I didn't like that.
There is
custom.
that crazy side where they
Right,
stop
the grudging,
talking to each other.
the grudging. I don't speak to you.
We'll
You have
get
to have a
mad.
translator, and yeah.
No, you'll get mad, and then we come from the other side of the Irish where we'll get mad and be like, you want me to smack the shit out of you in front of everybody? Or like I've had a breakup fights between my brother Charlie and Johnny. I've literally been on my brothers like punching and them punching me. Like we've done the full blown fist fights.
This is where you learn to segue.
Oh.
This is not where you learn to segue. This is where you learn to be a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a big shock to me because
No, I like the segue.
someone I dated, and I'm still very, very close with Jeannie Buss.
You dated Jeannie?
You didn't know that?
No, she was a big Easy Rider fan. She was a big Harley's Angel fan. That was our gang.
Jeannie is...
And she's a partner with David.
She's Aunt Jeannie to my kids. I mean, that's how close we are.
She's amazing.
Yes. Amazing.
So
like
nice
one
to
of the
us.
greatest people I know.
Agreed.
And people don't realize, they think, oh, she's a rich girl. No, she doesn't act it at all.
Not
she's
at all.
From the Buss family, but she took over the Lakers and is doing an amazing job. And she's just one of the most quality people I've ever met.
She would come to the forum, and I would like get nervous. Like, oh my
back
God.
then,
And I'm a big, this is going to sound terrible, but I have 6 brothers. We had one TV and they all ran numbers. So I watched everything. So I am a big Celtics fan. So it is mind your business, and a Sixers fan. So I know how to street fight. Bring it. And so when she would come in, I'm like, I'm in the forum. I'm wrestling. I'm in Laker territory. The Staples Center just opened, so they just moved to the Staples Center. But at that point, the Sparks were still practicing there. Like, I'm training in the facility that the Lakers, I'm still wowed by that. Even as a Celtics fan, it's still a big deal to me. And like the Sparks are training, and Michael Cooper was their coach. It was like, it was crazy. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is like, this is like so insane. I mean, like, I'm a fangirl when it comes to athletes and athletic things. Like Jeannie Buss, to me, I'm like, this is a woman who's running everything.
First ever to win a championship in pro sports. First female.
Yes, amazing.
The owner. Yes.
So I'm like, hell yeah.
Now you know that she owns Women of Wrestling now.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
David. Yeah, her
Yes.
David McLean were very, very close, and she would come to all the wrestling
Amazing.
matches. And
yes, she's in such support of
100%.
women's power, inclling.
I was
Women of
doing
Wrestling.
commentary because I can't wrestle anymore. I'll break a hip. But
You
I
don't
was
wrestle
doing
anymore. I was going to
in
challenge
20 years. I mean, I will fight you to the death. I'll never. This is the problem with the Irish. We'll never turn down a fight. I literally wrestled some of the strangest people you could ever imagine.
Right.
And sometimes it would be in the Comedy Store in the kitchen because I was there for a long time. But I was wrestling while I was still working as a waitress at the Comedy Store. And I was also Mitzi's personal assistant. And I'd go to Mitzi's house with like a black eye and like a bandaged arm. And she'd go, oh, honey, what did that to you? And I'm like, Mitz, I told you I'm doing the wrestling thing. It's a show.
Sure.
If you have a problem, honey, you can tell me, okay?
She thinks she's doing an intervention.
I can help. You know I helped Argus, right? Argus is a drug. Wait, what? Why? No, I didn't. I'm not being hit. I swear. I'm going to let you watch the show. She did not believe me.
Wow.
She did not believe me.
I just said wow. And
That's
I'm
the
talking
name
about
of the
Women
show,
Wrestling.
Women of Wrestling.
I can't believe you did that. And for so many years, I want to know the inside on wrestling. Is it kind of like magicians where you're not allowed to tell the secrets? Is it similar to that?
Magicians are creepy and wrestlers aren't. So that's a big difference.
You don't think it's creepy that they're breaking chairs over people's heads?
No, it's amazing, glorious. I'll tell you this, Selena Majors, who trained all of us, right? Like, they put us through a hell of a training to get that job. Like, I got cast, then we had to go through training, then they went through crazy cuts, right? And at this point, I'm chain smoking. I started smoking when I was 9. I smoked, even when I would compete swimming, I would get out of the pool and smoke a cigarette. Marlboro Red, by the way. I should be dead within the hour. So crazy person, right?
That's the only choice, by the way.
Marlboro Red.
Yeah, the Reds are
I'll get excited because I had a cigarette the other night and I quit 15 years ago. And all I think about is that cigarette. So,
what kind was it?
But it was an American Spirit.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Oddly, I could taste it for like 3 days later.
Yeah.
And then my friend Annie
If you're
told
going
me
to go, you go with American Spirit.
Annie
You just
told me to
die
brush my
about
teeth.
2 days later. That's all.
Okay,
Just
listen,
it puts you on delay.
if it's going to extend it, I will go back to Reds. Anyway, Enlightenment. So so I'm doing this wrestling thing, whatever, and I went in, and all I did was, I wasn't a comic at this point. I waited tables at the store for 12 years, left for a year, and came back as a comic.
Wow.
Now that's psychotic behavior, and there's nothing that can enlighten us. So
I guess because it was like osmosis.
Maybe, or well,
it just got into you.
I don't think that was it. I think it was literally what happened with my best friend passed away, Freddie Soto, in 2000. Did you know Freddie?
Yeah, but that wasn't. That's when you got into comedy? I wasn't that long ago.
Yes, it wasn't. I've only been doing it 14 years. But Freddie...
He's been dead that long?
Freddie's been dead 16 years next week.
No.
Saturday,
wow.
July 10th. It'll be 16 years.
Really?
So when Freddie passed, when it's...
You were inspired and...
Your life flashes before you kind of a thing. And Freddie, amongst a ton of other comics, would be like, you should be doing stand-up. You should be doing stand-up. And I'm like, oh, yeah, Misery Loves Company. I'm an actress. Come see my play in North Hollywood. It's a big theater district.
Putting out little flyers. Right.
It was like a student play that toured. Sure. So bad. Yeah. They were like, you moved to L.A. for theater? You're really good at this. Okay. Okay, Kate Winslet, relax. Yeah, I wanted to be Meryl Streep, and then I took a job as Easy Rider on Wild Women of Wrestling. So, but they were really gutting us, and I'm like coughing up blood, chain smoking, trying to keep up with the girls because they're real athletes. And I had stopped being that and wanted to be in the theater and obviously a chain smoker. So I was doing all the stuff, and I made Selena Majors and Peggy Lee Leather or Peggy Fowler laugh. And they were the ladies that trained us, So when I first got the job too, I had to call my mom and tell her that I was going to take a wrestling show, which is not going to go over well because I'm this little tomboy who she hates that just won't be a little girl for anything. And now
and she wants you married and straight.
She wants everything. I was, the whole thing of wearing her wedding dress to my first ex-fiance. I got rid of that one. And, like I had it all planned, the first one, like it was close, and I walked away.
And you're doing the hammer.
So now I'm wrestling, right? Yeah. So I call her, and this is 2000 when I got this gig. So or 99 rather. We aired in 2000. So I call her, and I'm like, Mom, don't be mad at me, but I'm gonna take this job. It's a wrestling show. She's like, oh, honey, I'm excited about this. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking of her screaming at me for cutting off my hair because it gave me a headache in my football helmet. And I was so bad, such a bad tomboy. And so I literally, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to call you when I get home. She's like, honey, they have great women characters. I go, Mom, I'll call you when I get home. Because it's 20-some years ago, 22 years ago now with a cell phone. So the reception stunk. And I was like, she can't hear me. And she doesn't know she has to yell at me. So I go home. It took me like 15 minutes to get home. I call my mom. She answered. My sister Karen answers. She goes, yo, you're going to be on West Wing? I go, what?
Stop it.
I'm not kidding. And I was like, what are you saying? She goes, Mommy's outside telling all the neighbors. She's already called half the family. I go, do you understand that I had to call everyone and say, I'm not going to be hanging out with Martin Sheen. I'm going to have a woman with a mullet and a sleeper hold. And terrifying.
Did they watch?
Of course she did. Then it got to my mom, because this is how close we are. They'll get mad. They'll yell at you. Yeah. Get over it. And then she's watching the show. Oh, honey, listen, a lot of the times you're doing the kicks and you're not actually kicking the person. Now, I need you to this has to be, if you're going to do this.
I want to connect. Yeah.
So now she's critiquing every week.
My God.
It's she's so funny. And so, whatever. So I did the wrestling thing, and then Selena, this is what you're talking about, the magic. Selena, our trainer, was training everyone and doing everyone's matches, like helping everyone work their things out, do their right moves and stuff.
Like a choreographer.
Training them. Right? Training
I'm sorry.
them.
Not a choreographer, a trainer.
No, training.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to fight Selena in the Forum in Inglewood, packed to the gills. And I'm the heel. I'm the bad person. And Selena's
they
the
call them the
good
heel.
girl.
This I did not know.
Oh, you don't watch wrestling. How dare you?
I went to like
Heels
one
are
when
bad,
I was younger.
baby faces are good.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
I've
you
known
can
a
tell
lot of wrestlers.
Jeannie likes heels. And
She does?
yeah, she don't like baby faces. Baby faces are boring.
I'm going to text that to her.
So babyface Selena is prancing in her little Miss America outfit, like I'm American, blah, blah, with her cute little, and she's an incredible athlete. I go out there. She goes, "Don't worry, easy. I'm gonna call the moves in your ear." I said, "I'm a street fighter. Now you're gonna whisper in the Forum where it's packed in my ear? Don't worry, easy. It'll be great. If you watch this match, it's the funniest and greatest match you'll
How
ever
bad
see.
it is.
It's because
You're
you
so
see
bad.
me almost get knocked out at least 3 times. I broke my pinky. I had a hairline fracture in my collarbone.
Whoa.
She goes, "I'm going to hit you with a chair." She picks up the chair. I'm like, what the fuck? Broke my pinky. I got out. I
She
literally
whispers, I'm going to hit.
to the right easy. Like,
She sounds like she
God.
sounds like some sexual
being
deviant.
flung-
She's a dominatrix today.
it is so good. I was soaked. It got me hot. She's flinging me around this ring. I mean, I'm surprised I did not get killed. It was that
Wow.
amazing. I did a sunset flip into the ring. I thought, oh my God, I can't breathe. She picks me up, throws me. She's an incredible athlete. She wrestled in Japan. She's a real hardcore wrestler. I'm an idiot that got cast in a show. You know what I mean? Who thought I was going to be Meryl Streep and it didn't work out.
What is with the chair thing? I mean, how could she hit
So
you with
good.
the chair? Was it a real chair?
Yes.
How does that
How do you
work?
think I broke my pinky? Because it was magical?
But I mean, how does it work? I don't know
Because
if it's
there's-
a breakaway chair or
No, it's
some
not a breakaway
special
chair.
chair.
That's for you outsiders that think it's a breakaway chair, but it's not a breakaway chair. It's a real live chair that someone was sitting in that she pulled it out from under.
See, that's where I wrestled as a kid, like real wrestle.
No. I real wrestled. You were in a singlet trying to get laid watching Buck. No, it's hard, but I'm telling you, they hit you with real chairs. We had pool sticks that we would hit people with.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't like. Even as a
The
kid, I'm
best.
going.
The best.
What in the world are they doing? That's not wrestling.
It certainly is.
It's not.
It's entertainment.
Oh well.
How many people went to see your wrestling match? Did you fill the Forum? I don't think so.
How about no one?
See? 'Cause
Jane
it's not
Mebbin.
fun.
Jane Mebbin was the cheerleader, and I had a big
Mebbin is a
crush on
great
Jane
name.
Mebbin. So I went out for wrestling, and the coach used to ask me how many lights are on the ceiling, because I got pinned all the time. So I would count them, and I would be upside
As
down.
you away for the count?
Is it a
3 count?
I was very
Is
good.
it a 10 count for you guys?
3.
3.
But I was really good at craning my neck, the bridge. I was really good at that, and I'd be up like this, and I would see Jane upside down. I'd see her upside down as I'm looking. She'd go, "Get up, Craig! Come on, get up!" And I'm going, "I wish I could, Jane." And I hear, boom, pinned.
No.
Anything for girls.
I get it.
I mean, you never worked that way with guys. Like anything for guys, you do things.
Of
you
course.
compromise your own integrity and what you like.
I did.
For
And
guys,
it was awful.
well, you dated Dice.
Listen, let me tell you, Dice is the pick of the litter. Dice is the only success story, if you will.
Oh.
I mean, growing up in South Philly, there was a guy I was head over heels in love with, and my mother thought I made him up, and because I was just obsessed with him. And then she saw that he got arrested and he was on the news, and she's like, "He's a gangster."
By the way, did you know?
I was like, "He's a real person. How dare you label him?"
I worked in South Philly with some true mafia gangsters.
True.
Did you
It's
know them
my whole
too?
neighborhood. It's my whole.
I mean, you knew them?
Yes, I'm very, very close with a lot of them.
Yeah.
Very, very close.
What an
What
amazing.
wonderful people.
Well, there is something wonderful
It really
about
is.
them.
And they are good people.
Real,
Some of them.
like true
Some
character.
are bad.
Well, they're bad in certain areas, but they make, like, I don't want to say they make up for it. You don't make up for a
None of
killing.
my business. That's none of my business what you're saying.
That's what they tell
My
you.
mom still lives in the same neighborhood.
Wow.
Everybody lives up the street or around the corner.
Yeah.
That's none of my business what goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then like coming out here, getting engaged and stuff, my mom would get excited, but I just never fully Dice bringing him home. That's what I was trying to talk about, but then I got stuck on wrestling. But like as far as judgment and enlightenment, my mom was like, ugh. I go because it was like, guess who's coming to dinner? You know, I'm engaged to this man that you used to punish the boys for listening to. Wow. And so she was like, oh, Eleanor, the guy who puts the cigarette in his ear. I was like, it doesn't go in his ear. It goes all the way around his head. No one likes you. So he came to the house and she was a wreck. She was like, I can't believe this. And my sister and my brothers are just like, my sister Kathleen was upset. Like she loved him and he would make fat girl jokes and Kathleen was like heavy. So she was like, you know how embarrassed you made me, but I love it. Like she owned it. And so, you know, he would do like fat shaming jokes, but she paraded and redid them, and people loved it.
There was no shame word back then.
Right.
That word was never used.
But she was so funny with it that she owned who she was, you know? And so Andrew loved her. And unfortunately, my sister passed away. And when she was on dialysis, Dice used to come and sit with us. And all the nurses would come over, and she'd go, yeah, he's my friend. Just make a big deal.
See, that's the heart that comedians have. I was trying to tell you that. Very spiritual
people. Who would do that? But when my mom was like, oh, God, this crazy psycho cursor is coming to my house. Yeah. And then he came and he brought his 2 boys who he had full custody of. And they were sitting on my mom's, like a love seat, right? And Max is here and Dylan's on his lap, like his 2 boys. And they're just like cuddling up to their dad. And my mom was like, oh, he's a person, and he's a sweet dad, and like, oh. And then my mom fell in love with him. She was like, oh, he's great.
This is where people
need
to have an understanding about character versus character.
Right.
You know,
it's
playing a character and having character are 2 different stories.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, it's people depart from reality. They don't really get it. They think they know you, but they really don't know you, especially someone like him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's nothing like you would expect. I mean, I watch his Instagram, and I'm howling laughing.
Yes.
It's just how far he goes.
Yeah.
And he knows he's doing it.
And he pushes all the buttons. It's the best.
Pushes the envelope and goes beyond the envelope. We
have so much fun together. Like, we're going on the road.
To this day.
And I can't wait. Like, we're going to be on the road for like the next couple of months.
And he has a paramour, a lover, a woman in his life.
What the hell did you just say? No, I'm kidding. Yes, his girlfriend, I set him up
and
with
she has no problem with you. Well, I guess she wouldn't
she's
if
amazing.
You set them up.
No, because when Dice and I broke up, it was like, again, it was, I'm going to have to blame Freddie. I don't know why I'm looking up. I'm kidding. I'm going to have to blame Freddie because I just couldn't handle things, right? And so that happened right after we got engaged. Freddie passing right after Andrew and I got engaged. And then my grandmom, who I was so tight with, died 20 days after Freddie. So it was just a kind of I checked out thing. And then we just like were such good friends that we were like, it's just better. I think we broke up like, cool, man. I think we did like a pound it and walked away. And then I started working on this one woman show, and he came to see it, and he was like, you're doing stand-up, stupid. So he took me on the road with him
to do
stand-up. And we had a show on VH1 at the time, so we were kind of promoting that.
You had one together?
Mm-hmm. It was called Dice Undisputed at VH1.
Oh, yeah?
It was a reality show thing.
And you were on it?
I was his fiance.
No way. Wow. Yeah. I had no idea.
It was a reality show.
Oh, it says rap.
I get it.
Oh, my God.
Social media.
Yeah, what's your social media?
So social media is EJ Kerrigan, Eleanor Kerrigan. If you just put that in, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, all that. But I'm doing something. I know our show got canceled.
Yes.
And that's
folks,
awful.
we had a show together we were supposed to do at Lincoln Financial Field in your neighborhood where the Eagles play, our Eagles.
I could have walked there.
I
That's
know.
How close.
I'm so disappointed. We'll do it next year.
But we're going to do it next year.
And I'm gonna host you in a couple weeks when we're there. This will already have aired. And we're going to go for pizza. I have great pizza and a great dessert place in South Philly.
I'm excited about this.
So we're going to do that. We'll hang. And we'll
go
to
my mother's house if you want.
And we'll go pet the Super Bowl trophy.
Okay. So maybe we'll play wall ball. Anyway, we're not playing buck.
We should play a game while we're there.
100%.
And I'm going to throw your sneakers over the wire.
We don't do that.
What?
Can't afford it.
That was the whole
Those
point.
sneakers got passed down.
What we would do is scuff our shoes so they wouldn't do it. If you had brand new shoes, those are going up on the wire. Did you know that? That was the theory. Is they see you with new shoes, so I'd scuff them up.
You got robbed for your shoes, but nobody threw them up in the air.
No,
they would just wear them.
If they weren't their size, they put them up there. They go get them.
Different neighborhoods. But also, I want to promote this that I'm doing, and it's going to sound crazy, but it's called Skank Fest. I don't know if you've heard of it. Skank Fest South this year. I'm so excited. I've always wanted to do the New York one, but I'm doing the one in Houston, November 5th through the 7th.
Does Big J
Big
have something
J
to do with that?
Okerson.
Yes.
It's Big
from
J,
Philly.
Lewis, Rebecca, Christina. It's
Lewis, you're just doing first names here.
Louis Gomez. Everybody knows that. If you know Skank Fest, you know these people.
So it's called, what is Skank Fest?
Legion
Tell
of
this suburban dad
Legion
who's in a
of
minivan.
Skanks.
Legion of Skanks.
Is the name of their podcast. It's Louis J. Gomez and Big J, and I can't remember the other guy's name, Dave something.
Okay.
Dave. But they do this festival every year in New York, and it got so big that they started doing it in Houston. And I think this is the third or fourth one, I forget, but it got so big. People love it. It's like Bob Saget's going to be there, Annie Letterman, like great comics, so much fun. I cannot wait to go. Brian Holtzman, my absolute favorite comic. We're all going to be at Skankfest.
Why is it
November
called
5 through
Skankfest?
7? Because it's from Legion of Skanks.
Yes, but
Their
why
podcast.
they
So
called
these
that?
are the Skanks Fest. It's this.
Oh, I always thought skanks were some skanky
I
broad.
agree, but I
as
think
Dice would
they're
say.
just generalizing
Okay.
that we're all Skanks. Like
Oh.
the Skanks don't just mean one thing anymore. We're all
I should
Skanks.
be honored I'm not invited. Anyway,
I'm an honored Skank.
I am so happy
my
you were here,
first
you
skanky
skank. I
skank
can't believe
year.
it's a compliment. Eleanor, it was a real pleasure hanging with you, and I
Flip
look
the
forward.
script.
I look forward to really hanging with you in Philadelphia. Follow Eleanor and Eleanor Kerrigan, and she is awesome. One of the best comics out there. That's why she was on that Philadelphia show. But you'll see her all over. Just look at her touring schedule, see where she is.
Yeah.
And she's here to lighten you up, okay? To enlighten
I
you.
enlighten
She's
you.
here to make you laugh, and that's what we're here. So just remember this, folks. Enlighten the fuck up, all right? We'll see you next time.